You will not believe what just happened live on air. Piers Morgan, yes, that Piers Morgan, dropped a bomb so big that even the control room froze. Right there, in the middle of his show, he flashed photos Meghan Markle allegedly tried to bury forever the so-called Soho House shots that her team supposedly scrubbed from the internet. And the reaction? Utter shock. No one, not the audience, not the Royals' PR machine, saw this coming. Viewers leaned forward as Piers said almost too calmly, "We've been told one story. Tonight, you'll see another." Then those images appeared, one after another, glittering rooms, famous faces, and Meghan, looking nothing like the polished Duchess we're used to. For a few seconds, the studio went dead quiet. And then the buzz began. People online started asking, what are these? Why were they hidden? Because for years, Meghan's narrative has been spotless, a Hollywood striver who accidentally fell into royal life. But these pictures hint at something far more deliberate. They paint a portrait of a woman who knew exactly where she was headed and who she needed to stand beside to get there. Fans of Piers Morgan were stunned, but even his critics couldn't look away. This wasn't one of his usual rants or sarcastic jabs. This time, he came armed with what he called receipts. Photos wiped from public view years ago, allegedly removed under legal pressure. And now they were back, glowing under studio lights. People close to Meghan say she's always been cautious about her image, every word, every photograph controlled like it's part of a royal archive. So the moment these unseen pictures hit screens, jaws dropped. They weren't red carpet shots or Hollywood premieres. They were private, dimly lit, elite parties inside Soho House, the ultra-exclusive club where cameras are banned and secrets stay sealed, except tonight, they didn't. One viewer tweeted, "This isn't the Meghan we know." And that summed up the mood. Because if those images are real, they tear open everything we thought we understood about her journey. For years, the world's been sold a fairy tale. Meghan, the hardworking TV actress who stumbled into destiny when she met Prince Harry. A sweet love story built on chance and charm. But if these pictures tell the truth, then that story is a script, a carefully written performance. They show a Meghan who wasn't stumbling anywhere. She was already in the room where power moved, standing where the right eyes could find her. People keep asking, if these photos are authentic, why were they buried so long? To answer that, you have to understand the contrast. The public Meghan is gentle, softly lit the humanitarian with humble beginnings, the woman who worked odd jobs and drove a beat-up car. She's the blogger who preached mindfulness and avocado toast, the actress who hustled her way into success. That image is beautiful, but it's also blinding, because behind it may have been a different life altogether, one that thrived in private, not public, and moved inside circles most people never touch. According to sources who claim to have seen the full set of photos, Meghan looked entirely at home inside those Soho House gatherings, not like a guest who'd been invited once, but like someone who belonged. There she was, chatting easily with high-profile men, positioned comfortably among people whose wealth and influence stretched far beyond Hollywood. It didn't look random. It looked strategic. And that's the contradiction. How did a mid-level TV actress gain such access? How did someone earning a modest cable salary find herself in the very same members-only lounges that turn away global icons like Kim Kardashian and Kobe Bryant? Somewhere along the way, someone opened the door for her, and whoever that was holds the key to the whole mystery. Because Soho House isn't just a bar or hotel, it's a gate. And getting through it means someone with serious pull vouched for you. You can't buy your way in, you're chosen. So how did Meghan Markle before royalty, before global fame, become one of the chosen? Enter Marcus Anderson. His name keeps surfacing like a ghost in every version of this story. He's been described as Meghan's closest confidant, her ever-present shadow. But what few people outside London's inner circles know is that Marcus was the global membership director for Soho House, the man who literally decided who entered those secret rooms and who didn't. And somehow, Meghan was always on the inside. People who've worked with Marcus call him the gatekeeper. He controls introductions, arranges access, manages the world's most elite guest list. If you're in his circle, your career can change overnight. And according to multiple reports, Marcus was right beside Meghan in Los Angeles, Toronto, London, and New York. Every city she moved to, he appeared soon after. Coincidence? Even industry insiders aren't so sure. Executives don't usually rearrange their lives to hover near an actress from a cable show unless that friendship is something more calculated. Add to that the long circulating claim that Marcus was the one who introduced Meghan to Prince Harry, and suddenly every puzzle piece starts snapping together. Because if Marcus was the link between Meghan and the royal world, then her rise was no fairy tale fluke. It was a designed descent, carefully guided and perfectly timed. But the story doesn't end there. Another name emerges from that same timeline, Christopher Jones, a man who claims to have worked the private yacht circuit during the very years Meghan allegedly did. According to him, their paths crossed more than once in glittering ports and exclusive events where no paparazzi were allowed. It wasn't about romance, it was about networks, about being seen by the right people in the right places. Now, not every yacht story is scandalous. Sometimes it's just networking, sometimes just glamorous vacations. But put the pattern together and it starts to glow. Meghan appearing in elite spaces long before fame, surrounded by men with power to change careers. The same Soho House connection, same names floating around her orbit. And when patterns repeat this often, they're rarely accidents. Then comes the strangest part of all the silence. Everyone expected Meghan to hit back instantly. This is a woman who once sued a tabloid for printing a letter to her father. She's known for correcting headlines, for firing off legal letters when someone gets it wrong. But after Piers allegedly aired those photos, nothing. No denial, no statement. No lawyer's note, just quiet. For someone so protective of her image, that silence screamed louder than any press release. Was it a strategy to let the story die on its own? Or was it the one thing she couldn't publicly touch without drawing more eyes to it? Because when powerful people say nothing, it's rarely because they don't care. It's because they can't afford the echo. That's why this moment feels different. For the first time, the version of Meghan that the public was never meant to see, the Soho House version, has stepped into the light. And Piers Morgan, the man she allegedly ghosted years ago, was the one who flipped the switch. Before royalty, before Oprah, before Netflix contracts, there was that one night in 2016 when Piers and Meghan met for drinks. He thought they'd become friends, maybe collaborators. They chatted for an hour. He even tweeted about how charming she was. The next evening, she went to Soho House and had dinner with Prince Harry. After that, she never spoke to Piers again. Not a message, not a thank you, just silence. And that silence became a wound Piers never let heal. When her relationship with Harry went public the next day, he realized he'd been cut off the moment she found someone more important. Then came the Oprah interview, the media wars, the complaint she filed against him with ITV, and the moment he stormed off his own show in rage. To many, it looked like obsession. To him, it was unfinished business. So when he finally got those photos, this wasn't just journalism. It was payback. Years of anger, humiliation, and loss, unleashed in one broadcast. He didn't just reveal images. He revealed a narrative. A woman who rose not by chance, but by calculation. A climb built on networking with men who could open gates no one else could see. And now, for the first time, the public is seeing what that path may have looked like before the palace polish. And this is where the story starts to sting, because once you piece everything together, it doesn't look like a fairy tale anymore. It looks like strategy wrapped in charm, timing dressed as destiny. People who followed Meghan's rise say the pattern was always there, hidden behind a smile that never slipped. Every room she walked into, she studied it first. Every person she met, she remembered their influence, their reach, their usefulness. And when the moment came, she moved. Always upward, always forward. Those who saw the Soho House photos said they weren't scandalous in the way tabloids like to exaggerate. It wasn't about wild behavior or explicit scenes. It was about context, who she was with, where she was sitting, the kind of people around her. Men in suits, women who managed billionaires, entertainment moguls, people who could shape careers with one phone call. Meghan looked calm, centered, comfortable, as if she'd been there 1,000 times before. And maybe she had, because even Harry himself admitted in his own memoir that Soho House was Meghan's second home. She kept her bags there. She knew every staff member by name. That's not casual membership, that's belonging. And belonging in a place like that doesn't happen by accident. So who gave her that golden key? Who vouched for her when others were being turned away? The same name keeps echoing: Marcus Anderson. The man who quietly opened doors for her, the man who allegedly introduced her to Harry, a man whose entire job was managing access for the powerful. People whisper that Marcus saw something in Meghan ambition that matched his precision. Together, they built the kind of connections most people only dream of. And when Meghan met Harry, it was like the final piece sliding into place. Everything before that moment suddenly made sense. Every dinner, every yacht event, every Soho House introduction, it was all a staircase leading to one door. The door that opened straight into Kensington Palace. But the fairy tale didn't end with happily ever after, because behind every perfect image, there's a past that refuses to stay quiet. And when Piers Morgan exposed those photos, that past began to whisper again, loudly. Observers say Piers wasn't just settling a grudge, though that was definitely part of it. He was proving something, that the Meghan he met in 2016 wasn't a naive actress swept off her feet, but a woman already surrounded by influence, already molded by power, already prepared for the world stage. And maybe that's why her silence now feels so heavy, because Meghan's entire life has been about controlling the story, telling it before anyone else can. But when someone else tells it for her, she can't rewrite the script. Not without drawing more light to what she's tried to keep dim. People online are split. Some call Piers cruel, obsessed, vindictive. Others call him brave for showing the public what they were never supposed to see. But whichever side you're on, the truth is this: those photos changed the tone of the conversation. The Duchess, who built her image on compassion and reinvention, now faces whispers of calculated networking, of erased history, of a climb that might not have been as organic as it seemed. Every royal story has a shadow. Diana had hers, Camilla had hers, and now Meghan's has stepped into the light. But this one feels different, sharper, colder, modern. Because it's not about romance or betrayal inside the palace, it's about ambition before the palace. The making of a public figure who learned early how to move like one. And maybe that's what makes this entire scandal so gripping. Because beneath the arguments, the outrage, and the leaked images lies one uncomfortable truth. Meghan Markle didn't just find her way into power. She built it, brick by brick, introduction by introduction, until the crown was simply the final accessory. And when the world gasped at those Soho House photos, what they were really seeing wasn't shame or scandal, it was the blueprint. The untold version of how fairy tales are really made not by magic, but by strategy. So when Piers Morgan lifted those images into the light, it wasn't just revenge, it was revelation. The kind of revelation that reminds you no matter how carefully a story is curated, truth always finds a way to show its face. And this time, it showed it live in front of millions, in the form of a man she thought she'd erased. Because some ghosts don't disappear, they wait for the lights to turn back on,